and there will be more action in the crowd than on the track, as the Orange Army have a raucous weekend. I've always seen them as the Galacticos of Formula 1. They feel like they have a God-given right to be at the top of the sport. So for someone who doesn't really like them, seeing them struggle over the last 2 years, I've been quite content. It will set in motion the driver market, with several drivers moving here, there and everywhere. But at the end of it all, we'll be able to look back at one of the most glittering F1 careers, which has spanned over 20 years. Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Joe Tyrrell and welcome back to GP Blog. I've predicted the first half of the F1 season, I've reacted to those predictions, and I've also predicted the entire Drivers' Championship. And now it's time to predict the second half of the 2021 Formula 1 season. If you thought my predictions were bold last time, well, you're in for an even bigger treat this time. Let's get into it. Zandvoort to completely flop. Zandvoort is set to return in less than 2 weeks, and it is arguably the most hyped up race of the season. And realistically, it is only on the calendar because of Max Verstappen. After a 1 year delay, the pressure on the race to deliver is immense, and I'm not expecting it to live up to expectations. Mercedes will be head and shoulders above the rest of the field, leading a 1-2, spoiling the homecoming, and Max's race will end in disappointment. Because of the Silver Arrows' performances on the track, the race will be a snooze fest, and there will be more action in the crowd than on the track, as the Orange Army have a raucous weekend. Ferrari to fight back and win the midfield battle. I know what you're saying already. Joe, you said McLaren would become a member of the top three. Well, I'm changing my mind, alright? I've never been Ferrari's biggest fan. I've always seen them as the Galacticos of Formula 1. They feel like they have a God-given right to be at the top of the sport. So for someone who doesn't really like them, seeing them struggle over the last 2 years, I've been quite content. However, from what I've seen, there's real potential there this season. They aren't the superior force they once were. There's vulnerabilities there. However, they're rebuilding with a fresh lineup, and I think they could make a real impression in the second half of the season. I'm backing them to win at least one race. I'm going to say Charles Leclerc to win in Russia. And don't rule out Sainz, he's a class act too. McLaren are leading the way in the midfield right now, but don't sleep on the Scuderia. But before we go any further, my stats are telling me around 95% of the people who watch our videos aren't actually subscribed to the channel. So if you're new around here or haven't subscribed yet, hit the like button down below, but while you're at it, hit the subscribe button as well, and that way you'll stay up to date with all our latest content. Yuki Sonoda to be replaced at AlphaTauri by the end of the season. It hasn't been an ideal start to life at motorsport's top table for Yuki Sonoda. The Japanese driver came with high expectations, but I'm predicting an early exit for the AlphaTauri man. The Red Bull setup is cutthroat to say the least, and I don't see them being any different with Sonoda. Gasly will continue to get the most out of his car, score superb finishes, while Sonoda will struggle, being regularly beaten by drivers he should be topping. He's also been mistake prone this year, and some have cost him dearly, ending his chances of positive results before the race has really begun. I don't expect Helmut Marko, AlphaTauri and Red Bull to hang about, and I'm predicting them to make a call on his future before the season draws to a close. Whether he completes the season or he's gone before the final race in Abu Dhabi is something I'm not so sure about. So I'm basically predicting it will be guaranteed to not have a seat for next year before Abu Dhabi draws to a close. Lewis Hamilton to secure an 8th World Championship. Now this might be the least risky of the lot, but Lewis Hamilton will win an 8th Formula 1 world title, moving out on his own as the most decorated world champion of all time. He'll be pushed close by Verstappen, but I still think it will be over with a couple of races to spare. I'm going to say it will be confirmed on the 21st of November at the yet to be announced Grand Prix, leaving the Saudi Arabian and Abu Dhabi Grand Prix to act as a victory parade as F1 celebrates the sport's biggest record breaker. Mercedes have been a bit stop-start so far, but they'll get it together and Hamilton will win at a canter. Kimi Retirement to confirm his retirement. I'm predicting Kimi to call it a day on his Formula 1 time, bringing the curtain down on an incredible career in the pinnacle of motorsport. The 2007 world champion is currently 17th in the Drivers' Championship and is ahead of his teammate Giovinazzi. But with Alfa Romeo not competing as much as they have done in recent years, I think they'll look for a fresh start, which means the end for the Finn in F1. It will set in motion the driver market, with several drivers moving here, there and everywhere. But at the end of it all, we'll be able to look back at one of the most glittering F1 careers, which has spanned over 20 years. Well, those are my predictions for the second half of the season, but what do you think will happen? Let us know in the comments below. Enjoy the Belgian Grand Prix this coming weekend, but from me, I'll catch you next time.